Atlas in the hot seat tonight.
And Atlas.
Goes by the name of Atlas the Bookkeeper. How you feeling, my friend?
So what time? Let's see. 14 minutes? Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Twitch, or Twitch.tv, the streaming service, is having their own adpocalypse. If you recall, in early 2017, YouTube had an adpocalypse. What did that mean? It meant that collectively, the major advertisers on YouTube put their heads together and decided that their ad campaigns on YouTube were completely ineffective, that they were paying tons of money to advertise, but the advertisements were not making them back the money. When they did research, they found that their ads were being basically put on videos that they never would want to advertise on. I'll give you an example here. They researched and found that a lot of advertisements were going on like people talking about terrorism or racist stuff, you know, really vile stuff. And do you really think that you're, you know, oh, someone is calling for genocide. Oh, brought to you by Starbucks. Probably not effective advertising for your brand. So when this happened, a bunch of major advertisers, including Walmart, Starbucks, and more, all pulled their ads collectively from YouTube. The thing was, that was actually the big majority of the advertisement revenue of the site. So overnight, people who were making videos on YouTube and made a living doing so lost something like 70% of their income. I was one of them. I was making this much, and all of a sudden in that year, it was February of 2017, it went boom. So that's when I became a live streamer. Seriously, that's the reason why I became a full-time interactive live streamer, because there was no way I could make a living just making on-demand videos anymore. Now, over the years, YouTube has changed. YouTube designed an entire system around determining if videos should be monetizable, right? That's why you have so many videos that get demonetized and stuff like that today based on the content. Once they put that in place and it had tested data to show that it worked, they went back to advertisers and got the ads back. So now YouTube does have some advertisements back, but quite frankly, it's still nowhere near the levels that it used to be, okay? I mean, YouTube used to actually be very profitable just running ads on videos. It's definitely not so these days anymore. You can make some money on ads, but now if you want to be a full-time YouTuber, you have to do all kinds of stuff. You have to have super chats and memberships. You have to try to get sponsorships. You have to have sponsored plugs in your videos. Then you could probably make a living being a YouTuber. It's definitely changed in the last 7 years since the adpocalypse, okay? So why am I telling you the history of YouTube and the adpocalypse? Well, it's simple, because Twitch is having their own right now, okay? By the way, shout out to the SJB97 who re-upped their sub over on Kick. Thank you so much for that. So, what has happened? And we've talked about this in the last couple of months. We just talked about this about a week ago. The Twitch CEO came out and made a big public statement that, oh, no, Twitch has rules, and we enforce the rules, and it doesn't matter what anyone says. We are fair in what we do. The thing is, that's not the consensus at all. Most people completely disagree. They look at Twitch and they see what they see is selective enforcement of the rules. Some people will literally do nothing wrong and get their streams shut down, suspended, get strikes thrown against them, or in some cases, they just get completely removed from the platform with little or no explanation whatsoever and zero transparency. On the flip side, you got people who are on there every day that are saying things like, death to certain people. I hope that all military get PTSD and crazy stuff like that. And they're not suffering any repercussions whatsoever. They're just free to do whatever they want. And it's like, wait a minute, you have rules. Why is it that certain people get overly treated with moderation? Overly moderated, overly, really strong-handed treatment. And then others literally get no treatment at all, as if they're just free to do whatever. And recently you've seen a lot more about this. In regards to people like Asmongold, right? Who said stuff on there, and he gets moderated. But then people can bring up a million clips of other people who say things way worse than what Asmongold said, and they're not getting moderated at all. So it doesn't make sense. So what's happened is the last 2 weeks, this has become a big public debate on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere. Well, guess what? When things go public and people start talking about them and they get more attention, waves start to crash, ripples start to move. And what's happened is exactly what happened in 2017 on YouTube has now happened on Twitch. A bunch of major advertisers got together and they started looking at Twitch and they said, wait a minute, what? There's a streamer saying that and there's our ads on the site? And they're realizing, again, guess what? Their ads aren't effective. Your ads are going on videos of people who are never going to buy your products or who you don't even want involved with your company, right? So they pulled their ads. And overnight, this happened about 3 or 4 days ago. Overnight, people who were full-time streamers on Twitch who were making, some people, they even said in their outright videos, I used to make anywhere between $100 to $500 a day on ad revenue on Twitch. They're making $5 a day. They lost 95% of their ad revenue overnight because all the advertisers pulled the plug. In addition to that, here's what makes it even worse. It's the holiday season. So now this is the time of year when you would think, oh, more people will be watching. There's going to be way more ads because now every company is advertising their products, right? So you're going to make more money. It's actually the opposite. People are making almost no money on their streams. So some Twitch streamers are freaking out. You can actually check it out and you'll see a bunch of big, Twitch streamers are going, oh, I can't believe this. This must be fixed and yada, yada. The thing is, again, the writing has been on the wall for years about this. Again, I hate to beat the dead horse, but what happened to me was only the beginning of the end for them. What happened to me? In early 2021, it was around, I want to say, April of 2021. I'm on a live stream. Now, I've been on Twitch for like 10 years, right? I think I started streaming 2013. So at that point, 2020, it was like 7, 8 years, right? And I've been a partnered streamer the whole time. And I had actually been on there for about 5 years. I rejoined late 2016. So, yeah, it was about 4.5, 5 years that I've been streaming, partnered with them, never had any issues. All of a sudden, in the middle of a live stream in April of 2017, everyone notices their subscription badges are reverting and disappearing. And everyone's like, what the hell's going on? Then live during my stream, I get a notice, you've been removed from the partner program for hateful speech. And I'm reading, I'm like, what are they talking about? What hateful speech? I'm the most unpolitical, unbiased kind of person like that. I don't talk about race, religion, politics, nothing on my streams. How could you possibly accuse me of hateful speech? So I wrote back to them in an attempt to an appeal because there is no formal appeals process to this. I just wrote back and I said, what are you talking about? I don't think this is the case. I think this is, you're either this is a misidentification or a mistake. I want an answer. And they responded, oh no, we looked into it and we determined that you're not fit for the partner program, but you're free to reapply in a year. To which I responded one more time and I said, if you don't tell me what I did wrong, how can I ever change for the better so that I can improve? And they responded, we do not legally have to tell you anything. Goodbye. And that was it. That's the last time I actually talked with Twitch ever. And I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me this is a business that at any moment they can accuse you of doing something wrong. And then when you ask, what did I do wrong? They say, we don't have to tell you or present any evidence. Goodbye. Does that sound like a place you want to work? Of course not. But I told everyone about this 3.5, 4 years ago. Yet here we are in late 2024 and people are like shocked. Oh, we lost ad revenue. Like, what are you talking about? I knew about this. I knew they were unprofessional. I knew that this is going to be a problem. I tried to warn the internet, but of course, because I'm Darkside Phil, no one wanted to pay any attention. If I had been another person, maybe people would have paid attention, but because I was Darkside Phil and I was the big lol cow of the internet and the whipping boy of the internet and everyone wanted to make fun of me, no one listened. Well, here we are, and now people are losing their way of life, and it sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want anyone to lose their job or lose their method of which they can make a living and, have a family. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. But at the same time, This has been happening systematically on that site. It's getting worse and worse over the course of 3-4 years. And people have been warning about it. And people, oh no, Twitch is the place to be. I got to stream on Twitch. Why? Why? There are such viable alternatives. YouTube, where you make more money, but you can also integrate things like the on-demand videos and stuff into your community. Kick, where you make 95% revenue on any income that you get. There's so many different better places to be. So now, of course, everyone's panicking over there. And there's a big shift because now people are like, it looks like maybe no one can talk about politics anymore because people are strongly believing it was the political content that got them into this hot water to begin with. You know, when people are on there saying the most extremist things to get a rise out of their audience and then get ad revenue and income from it, it tends to blow up in your face. And that's what's happened, okay? So anyway, that's what's going on Twitch. Now, there may or may not be a follow-up to this, because YouTube did bounce back. But the thing is, YouTube took a while. It was like 2-3 years until finally YouTube had those systems in place so that then the advertisers started to feel more confident to come back and ad revenue went up again. It never went back to where it used to be, but it did increase. Which, at this point, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. If they are bleeding now money and they're not making profits, I can't imagine them remaining at any kind of a profitable level. And what's going to happen, you know, Amazon could shut them down. They could sell them off, you know? I don't know. I guess we're going to see, but it's just sad. I mean, the management over there is a joke. If you want to see, about a week ago, I did a story on the CEO. The guy is like old. He's an old man, gray hair, big. His profile picture on X is him when he's like 20. Like he's living in the past. Like he thinks he's a kid and he acts like he's a kid. He's a moron. He's a horrible leader for the company. And this is the guy coming out, oh no, we enforce our rules. Then why'd you just lose all your advertisers, right? That's what's going on over on Kick. Thought you'd get a kick, or, excuse me, on Twitch. I thought you'd get a kick out of what's going on over on Twitch. All right. I received a $1.21 tip. Captain Gout and Lady Diabetes. How about no? Stupid idiot. Okay. So, let's quickly, let's go ahead and, talk a little bit about the schedule for the week.